My 2020 vision would be that if anybody wants to go and work in an organization, hopefully by that time they will be able to go in not because they're from the right school or they're from the socio-economic strata, that's right, but because they bring something to the organization. And that is so important, because actually when you let someone come in and be their whole self, that's when they actually can change the world. I got into the business world totally by chance. I started doing Indian cookery lessons, and somebody from Sharwoods was there, and they asked me to become a consultant. So I started doing some consultancy for, the big supermarket. And then I decided that I wanted to acknowledge the achievements of women, and I set up the Asian Women of Achievements Awards. Lots of barriers remain for people. Really, it's about self-belief. They often don't put themselves forward. For people who come from ethnic minority communities or from religious communities, there are barriers. We still work in businesses where people exclude others. They like to have their own cliques. And to me, that's the real challenge, because the minute you bring everyone together, they really bring all their best qualities to work. The one thing that needs to change in the business world is how do we make ourselves more like socially mobile, really, and how do you get people in from all kinds of backgrounds to actually rise through the ranks. There are lots of people with a lot of things that they can bring to the culture of an organization who never even get the chance to get their foot inside the door. So I think we need to work much more on that. It's about bringing diversity to the heart of the business so that everybody is aware of it all the time, and they actually bring their own views of it and carry on conversations. I think conversations suddenly stop and something new comes up, and that worries me. Diversity is definitely not a box-ticking exercise, but it helps organizations to feel they're doing something when they tick those boxes. We need to let them know that there is a real agenda here that's going to make a difference to their business, to the culture, to the environment, and to the actual result that a company achieves. Because I think when people are happy working in a company, they contribute much more, there's less turnover. They also tell other people about it, so you get other new talent. So it really, really has to be in the DNA, and it has to come from the top. I find the organizations I talk to, it's when the CEO really believes in it. That's when it really happens, because otherwise, if it's just a head of diversity, a lot of them have very little power. And you'd be surprised how many organizations still don't even know what it's about. And that really surprises me in this day and age. I think the real point for us is that we shouldn't talk about it too much, because then I think you overstate the case and people lose interest. So how do you do it in a way that sustains their interest, but at the same time actually is making a difference to the business case? I think this whole flexible working is going to be a real big point for businesses, and how do they manage that would be very, very important. And also for me, it's really the whole thing about social inclusion again, is to bring people from different parts of the community to work in an organization. I think we all tend to bring clones of ourselves because you feel comfortable. And I think we need to really raise our own awareness and look differently at how we do things. I think we all get set in our ways. So really the challenge is to think outside the box and to be much more creative. I am very optimistic about the future because the work we're doing is growing. There's so many creative ways we can do things. I think young people coming up behind us are very keen to actually make their mark. So I think, there's going to be a lot of change, and it's going to be for the good.